श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। व्यासम् अष्टनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मं देहजगदादं दुपोरिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मणते वासिष्ठानमो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। So previously we were looking at Duryodhana says, I haven't done anything wrong, and it is the Pandavas who lost in the dice game, lost their kingdom, and now they are asking for it back, which is not right. I'm the king, I'm not going to give anything back, and I haven't done anything wrong. So, responding to that, Krishna lists out all the mistakes and the evil things he has done to Pandavas from the very beginning, to Bhima, to Duryodhana, the Dharmaraja, and Draupadi and everything. He lists out all the things that he has done. Listening to this, Duryodhana, when Krishna was saying all those things, he becomes very angry and he went away once more time from that assembly. So leaving that court, he walks out with Krishna, with Karna, Dushasana and Shakuni. He goes away and then they start discussing what's going to happen. So they come to the conclusion that this Krishna is very quick in his actions, and he is going to ask Dhritarashtra and Bhishma to arrest us. He's going to seize us, and he will but we should, before he does that, we should forcibly seize him, and we should seize him like Indra previously seized Bali. Previously, he's done that. Like that, we should do it. And then once we seize Krishna, then all those who are in the Vrishni race, they will be worried. They will be worried, and Pandavas also lose their confidence and they will lose their heart, and they will start thinking what to do next, because Krishna is the only one who is protecting Pandavas and Vrishnis and everybody. That's why if we arrest Krishna, if he sees Krishna, then this whole thing will stop. So they come to that conclusion. So at that time, Satyaki comes to know about this plan Duryodhana, Karna, Shakuni, and Dushasana were making. So what Duryodhana Satyaki does immediately, as soon as he comes to know about that, he immediately informs Kritavarma and then asks him to prepare all the troops that came with Krishna, prepare all of them for any battle that may come. And he says that I'm going to tell Krishna, and you prepare the chariot for leaving from this place immediately. So immediately he goes to the court and he informs Krishna of all the things, that whatever he came to know. Then he informs Dhritarashtra, then Viduraa about the conspiracy to seize Krishna. And immediately he says that this Duryodhana, wicked Duryodhana, is intent to commit this act here, which is wicked act that he's going to planning to commit, and he thinks that he can seize Krishna, and if he can do it, if he thinks like that anger and covetousness that's in him, that's going to be, he's not going to be successful in those kind of things. And again, if he tries to do that, it will be like idiots and children trying to seize a blazing fire by means of their garments. So it's going to burn their garment and not they'll not be able to seize that fire. So just like that, they are going to fail. So hearing this again, Vidura, hearing the word, Vidura again tells Dhritarashtra that your son is going to do something unthinkable here, and he's going to, because of that, he's trying to arrest or seize Indra's younger brother here, and that lotus-eyed one, Krishna, he's going to arrest. He's planning to arrest, and there is nobody who can seize Janardana. And Janardana, if he wishes, he can send all of them, even if they fight in their uh, full power, he can send all of them to Yama's place. So there is nobody who can do anything to Krishna. And hearing this, Krishna again looks at Dhritarashtra and says that if these men decide to punish me using the violence, then let them permit them to punish me. And as regard to me giving them punishment, if I dare, I can do that without any trouble. I can punish all the Duryodhana and all the people assembled together with him. I can punish everybody. But I'm not going to do that because the this is Pandavas are going to do that for him, and that's where uh, he's going to get punished. And I can drag Duryodhana, seizing him, and drag him to Pandavas. But again, I'm not going to do this. So let it be as Duryodhana desires, and let it be as he wishes. So I give permission to do whatever your son wants to do. So saying this, Krishna's word, hearing those words, Dhritarashtra tells Vidura that bring that Duryodhana here again. So this is, so Duryodhana first time left that assembly court, and Gandhari brought him back, and then now he's again been asked to come back to this assembly. So when Duryodhana returns after Dhritarashtra's order, he is surrounded by King Karna, Dushasana, and all the other kings. At that time, Dhritarashtra tells him with angrily and a sharp word, saying that you are doing this despicable act, the actions, this is sinful, and you are going to face up to that because of that. Has been disapproved by everybody, and you will be punished for that. And do you know, even devatas cannot do anything to with Indra, even with Indra's support, they cannot do anything to Krishna. And Sachakeshava, you are thinking about addressing, arresting here and seizing him when he is incapable of being withstanding. He's being capable of withstanding even devatas, gandharvas, asuras, and nagas, and everybody together. So Sachakeshava, you are planning to arrest, and you are such a foolish person. So he scolds Duryodhana, and after Dhritarashtra had said that, so again Vidura, looking at Duryodhana, he tells him to Duryodhana, listen to the words of what I'm going to say. At the gates of Soba, the great monkey named Dvida was there, and Keshava, with that Dvida was throwing shower of stones, and Krishna seizing him and destroyed that Dvida. And similarly, when Krishna went to Prajyotisha, he faced up to Naraka and all the Danavas there, and seizing all of them, he defeated and killed Naraka in that battle. And in the city of Nirmochana, 60,000 asuras failed to seize Krishna. And do you think you can seize Krishna in that? And while he was a child, he killed Putana. And two asuras who were assuming this shape of birds came there, and he also held Govardhana mountain in his little finger, protecting all the cows from the rain. And he also killed Arishta, Denuka, Chanura, Ashwaraja, Kamsa, and many others. He killed also Jarasandha, Vakra, Shishupala, Bana. All these were killed by Krishna. And such a Krishna who even Indra could not, Indra, Agni, Varuna, they could not stop him when he went to pick up the Parijata for his wife Satyabhama. So when he went to do that, they could not, Indra himself could not stop him. And while floating in the deep waters, he killed Madhukaitaba. And in another birth, as Hayagri, he killed Hayagriva, and who was taken away all the Vedas and everything from Brahma. He returned it back to that Brahma. So he is the cause of all the powers. He is, whenever Krishna wishes, he accomplishes without any effort. And you do not know this sinless Govinda. He's having a terrible powers and incapable of deterioration, such a Govinda. You don't know him, and you are trying to seize such a Krishna. And Vidura scolds him. After Vidura had said that, Krishna, he addressed Duryodhana and said that from delusion you regard me to be alone, but it is as you seek to make me a captive of and vanquishing by violence here. But here, look at me here. I have all the Pandavas, Vrishnis, Andakas, Adityas, Rudras, Vasus, everybody in me, all the great rishis and everybody in me. And saying that, Krishna suddenly started laughing loudly. And in that laughter, from his body, suddenly blazing fire came out, and lightning like effulgence came out. So, and it's all these things, all the devatas, everybody, including Brahma, appeared in his head, on his breast, Rudra appeared, on his arms, Lokapalas appeared, on his mouth, Agni, Aditya, Sadhyas, Vasus, Ashwins, Marutas, Indras, Vishwadeva, Yakshas, Gandharva, Rakshasas, all of them came. And in his two arms, Sankarsana and Arjuna and Dhananjaya came. And Arjuna stood on his right side with bow in his hand. And Rama, Parashurama stood on his left with plow in his hand. And Bhima stood behind him, Yudhishthira and Nakula Sahadeva also. And before him, all the Andakas, Vrishnis were there. Pradyumna was there. And also, he was having various types of arms in his hand: conch shell, discus, mace, saranga bow, javelin, plow, nandaka, and every other weapon that's there. So it upraised and ready to strike. He was like that. And from his eyes and nose and ears and every part of the body, various sparks came out, fire sparks came out. From the pores of his body issued the sparks like sun's rays, like fire came out. So that awful, terrible form of Krishna, looking at that, coming from that energy, that's light, that's coming through, effulgence that's coming through, all the kings and everybody closed their eyes. They could not see that, except Drona, Bhishma, and Vidura, who were having a lot of great intelligence and blessed Sanjaya as well, and the rishis assembled in that court with wealth of asceticism. They could see Janardana in that divine form. So seeing that crew court, highly wonderful. Suddenly, all the devatas and everybody started beating their drums, and everything. Floral showers came from the sky, and earth trembled at that time, and the ocean agitated, and everybody filled with great wonder looking at that Virata Rupa of Krishna. So that form of Krishna was terrible to see, but it was pleasing for those devotees of him who realized him and who recognized him. For them, it was very pleasing to see. Then, after that, Krishna withdrew his form, and with Satyaki and Kritavarman in his arms, two arms, both sides, he obtained the permission from all the rishis assembled there. Krishna went out, and huge uproar took place in that place when all the rishis and including Narada and everybody disappeared from that place immediately. Then, after that incident happened, so Krishna left the court, and the wonderful thing that Vaishampana narrates here is that as Krishna left that court, all the kings, without knowing their senses, with losing their senses, they don't know what they are doing, they just followed Krishna. They just followed Krishna out of that court. And Krishna then going outside where Dwarka was waiting with his chariot, he rides that chariot, and Kritavarman and Satyaki also, they take their chariot. Dhritarashtra in an attempt to stop Krishna, he says that, Krishna, listen to me. It's not my fault. You have seen all these things that happened with your own eyes. It is not my fault. So he was trying to escape from anybody blaming him for all the things instead of him doing his own duties and punishing Duryodhana for all the ill things that he was doing. He says that Duryodhana never listens to me. You have seen this all in your own eyes. It's not my fault. So have don't think that I am doing all this. And when he was saying that, so Krishna addressed Dhritarashtra, Drona, Bhishma, Vidura, Balika, Kripachar, and everybody. You have yourself witnessed all that happened in this assembly of Kurus, and how Duryodhana, like an uneducated person, left the court from anger, and how Dhritarashtra also describes himself to be powerless. With all your permission, I will leave now back to Yudhishthira. And then saluting them, all the elders and worshipables, Krishna saluting them and worshipping them. After taking their permission, he mounted his chariot and he immediately left that place, immediately leaving that place. But Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, Vidura, Ashwatthama, Vikarna, and Yutsu, they all began to follow Krishna. They all began to follow in that white car chariot where Krishna was leaving. They all following him. And after Krishna leaving that assembly, he comes straight to uh, so again, he comes straight to Kunti's place, and there Krishna explains everything that has happened. All type of words and everything was said by me, but Duryodhana did not accept any of them. And Duryodhana and his followers, for them, the time has come for their death. So, with your permission, I will now quickly go back to Pandavas and I'll tell them everything. But before I go, what is your instruction? What is your message to them? I want to hear those things. So Kunti then says that, oh Krishna, tell this to Yudhishthira. Your virtue is decreasing day by day. Okay, do not act vainly without any use. Do not take actions. So now act like you are living, because your virtue is diminishing because you are not following your duty as a kshatriya. You are living like a sannyasi, right? So as a ascetic, you are living like that. That's why you are living like a muni, and that's why your virtue is diminishing. Like the reader of the Vedas, like a brahmanas, you are living your life, and your understanding is affected by only the words of Veda with virtue alone. But look at your duties as well. As per Kshatriya, look at your own duties, your order as it is. As Brahma has told, what is your duties? Look at that. From all the ruthless deeds and protection of the people, from his Brahma's arms, Kshatriya was created. So we look at in the Vedas as well, right? So Brahmana, Sivakamasi, Bahu, Rajan. So Kshatriyas came from Brahma's arms, right? So they came from that Virat Purusha's, Parama Purusha's arms. So again, in this instance, what has been heard previously by Vaishravana, having been gratified, made a gift of earth to Muchukunda. Muchukunda, when Vaishravana made that, Kuvera made that gift, he said that I cannot accept this gift because I'm a Kshatriya. I have to win it by my own arms, by strength of my arms. At this, Kubera became very happy, and Muchukunda then, fully observing his Kshatriya duties, he conquered the entire earth, and that became his kingdom. And then again, 1/6 part of the virtue practiced by all the people of the kingdom goes to king, who rules by virtuous deed, virtuous way. And similarly, the virtue again that king himself practices gives him the godhead. He becomes the devata because of those things. He is capable of becoming a devata because of that. And again, the rules and penal codes that properly applied by the king makes all the four orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, adhere to their respective duties, and it leads to acquisition by the ruler himself of the virtue. So if all the people follow their dharma, and if king makes sure that everyone follows their dharma, then the virtue accumulated by all the people gets accumulated to king himself. So that's why you follow your duty. So king is the one who causes the yugas. So Krita Yuga starts, Satya Yuga starts because of good kings. When the good kings come, that's when the Krita Yuga starts. And similarly, Yuga changes from Krita to Treta to Dwapara to Kali. It changes because of the kings. And when the Kali Yuga comes, the kings actually lose their dharma, and the subjects as well, the people also lose their dharma. That's why it is the king that affects the world, and it is the world sins of this world that affect the king. So you act according to kingly duties, Kshatriya duties that suited to you as per your ancestry. And the one that is stained by weakness of the heart adheres to compassion, and one unsteady never obtains the merits born out of cherishing his subjects with love. And again, sacrifice, gift, merit, bravery, subjects and children, gratefulness of soul, might, strength, energy, these are always prayed by me for you. And again, well wishing Brahmanas as well wished you long life and wealth and children. Uh, all those were wished by the Brahmanas as well. The mother, the father, as always, also the devatas always desire their children liberality, gift, study of sacrifice, and control over all their subjects. That's what they desire. So that's why you do follow your duties. And if you are destitute of your duties, and uh, if you're destitute of means to support and care for those afflicted and in misery, that's not right for you. So as a virtuous person, you should conquering, acquiring the kingdom, you should look after your people, and with attaching the gift and by some force and sweet words and things like that, he should do that. A Brahmana should adopt mendicancy. A Kshatriya should protect the subjects, Vaishya should earn wealth, and Shudra should serve the other three. And mendicancy, therefore, is forbidden for you. So you cannot take that. And nor agriculture is suited for you. You are a Kshatriya, therefore, protect all or protect, become the protector in time of distress. You become the king and you become the protector of those things. So she again says that in this connection, I'm going to tell you a old story that's been narrated previously of story of the Viduraa. So Viduraa is a queen and her son, I'm going to tell you. So again, this story Kunti tells of a Viduraa and her son is here. She is telling Yudhishthira, but it is also a very important story. It says how to one should get confidence when in difficulty. Okay, it also says how a mother should treat a son when son is lazy or given up, and those kind of situation, how a mother should do, how a mother should be inspiring her children. So here there is a king, there is a queen named Vidura, and she was devoted to Kshatriya duties, and her son lost his kingdom to Sindhus, and he was depressed by that, and he was laying low, very low. And at that time, she says that you are not my son. You are a joy, giving joy to all my enemies, and that's why you are not my son. So, giving birth to you, uh, you have not been born to myself and your father. Where have you come from? Okay, without any anger in you, you can't be counted as a man. So your features look like you are an eunuch, and you such as despair and despondency in you. So if you are desirous of your own welfare, bear the burden of your affairs and on your shoulders. Do not disgrace your Atma by doing this kind of thing. Do not suffer and things like that. Abandon this fear. Rise, O coward, she says. And do not lay down and after your defeat, delighting your enemies, grieving the friends and reft of sense of humor and things like that. Do not live life like this. A coward is soon gratified with acquisition of very small things. Rather, you rather perish by plucking fangs of a snake than dying a miserable life like a dog. So that's why put forth your prowess and risk your life. So from that you will benefit. That's why rise, O coward, and vanquish your enemies. She says never occupy intermediate, low, or lower situations. So you always aim for the highest possible things. And that's why it is better to blaze up for a moment than smoke forever and ever. So that's why blaze up, show your Kshatriya duties, and kill, destroy your enemies, and take victory over them, and then do your duties. So blaze up like that, rise. That's why display your strength and obtain the end which is inevitable. Right, so inevitable, she says here again, either you die in that battle or you become victorious, but don't live a life like this after being defeated in despair and sorrow and grief. Do not live a life like that. So all your religious rights and achievements, everything is gone by living like this. So that's why even if you you even if one's root is cut off, okay, he should not give to way of despair and despondency and sorrow, grief, and all those things. That's why exert yourself, rising from where you are and taking ownership and responsibility. So you again, the one who has fame not founded in respect of charity, asceticism, truth, learning, acquisition of wealth, such a person is only equivalent to mother's excreta. But on the other hand, the one that surpasses the others in learning, asceticism, wealth, prowess, deeds is truly a man. That person is truly a son. So that's why do not adopt this idleness, wretched, infamous, miserable profession of mendicancy that is not worthy of a, that is worthy of only of a coward. That's why the friends never derive any happiness on obtaining a weak person as a friend. At the same time, the enemies will be delighted by looking at such a weak person. And do not gratify your enemies. Make sure you fight for this and make sure that she says, "Oh Sanjaya" here, calling her son by name. So her Sanjaya Vidura's name is Sanjaya. So she says that let no woman bring forth such a son as you that are without anger, without exertion, without energy, that is joy to his foe. So she also says her regret of bringing up such a son who has no uh, anger or anything left in him. And again, she encourages by all the means, saying that blaze up, make your effort. He is he is the one who, a man who cherishes the anger and forgives not. So such man is the Kshatriya who never forgives anybody. And the other hand, forgiving without any anger is neither a man or a woman. Contentment and softness at heart, these two, and want of exertion and fear are destructive prosperity. The one that is without exertion never wins what is great. And again, you are a man. A man is called a Purusha because he is competent to trouble his enemies. And that's why the one who uh, lives like a woman is should not be named as a Purusha. You are not a Purusha. You're not living like a Purusha. You're not living like a man. So the king who, disregarding his own happiness and pleasure, seeks prosperity of his kingdom, succeeds soon in gladdening his counselors and friends. Hearing all these words, harsh words, Sanjaya says that if you do not see me, of what use would the whole worth be to you? If you do not see me as useful or things like that, what is the use of you having me? And mother at that time says, you your enemies, send them to Yama's region. Okay, let them be killed, destroyed by you. Do not adopt the course of life that is followed by those wretched person who are destitute of strength, who is without servants, who is without attendants, and waiting for a time for the food and things supplied by others, given by others. Do not return. Let Brahmanas and your friends all depend on you for their sustenance. So they all should be depending on you. You should not be begging them for your food and your livelihood. So the life of that brave man is indeed such a praiseworthy whom Brahmanas and other friends depend on him. That's why winning fame in this form and blessed state in the others in the next one show by you can if you show the your prowess, your arm's strength, then you will succeed in winning those fame and blessed state in the others. And if you fallen into such a plight, you wish to give up on this manliness and things like that, that's low and wretched. The Kshatriya who from desire of life does not display his energy according to his best might and prowess is regarded as a thief. That's why make those Sindhus cry. That it is true that Sindhus have many followers, but you should not discount all this. And from weakness and ignorance, proper means they are waiting for the distress of their master. So just like that, you look for their weaknesses and things. Okay, you put forth your prowess, uniting all the people who are against Hindus. You look for an opportunity, and again, that man who pursues the fruition of his objects according to the ways of the policy and success and for the success of the whole objects, the other people strive coordinately is always sure to win success. So if one tries according to the policy, according to the dharma, whatever he is supposed to do as per his duties, he will succeed. So that's why do not give up on this hope. So look for the opportunity, be prepared and try, make all the effort. And what is the use of life if when you do not have the servants and things like that, when you are living for others peoples to give you? If you have to say no to a Brahmana, if I have to say no to a Brahmana because I can't give him when he comes for begging, if I have to say I don't have anything to give, that will burst my heart. And neither nor my husband ever said no to a Brahmana before. That's why instead of that, I will surely give up on my life. If a Brahmana comes to my house and I have to say that I don't have anything to give, I will give up my. So be you become our means of crossing this ocean. In the absence of boats, you become our boat. Make sure that you place us where there is nobody, and so revive us from this dead state. So she again tries to first she blames him, saying that he is not manly and things like that. Then she says that this is your duty. Now she's saying that you have to rescue us. Okay, she's using emotional encouragement as well. So he says that put all your uh, armor and everything. So like a brave man win the fame by killing the enemy. Like Vritra, by killing Vritra, India became famous and got the sovereignty of the Devatas. Just like that, you become the king again, defeating all those Saindhavas. So she again says, observe the duties of your order. So let me not see you cheerless like this, dejection and sorrow and grief and things. I can't see you like this. If you young man like you who is possessed of the beauty and things like that, learning and high birth and worldwide fame, act in such a way that is good for you and that will not become a shame to you. Act in such a way. And again, you are born in a race that walked behind one another. So that's why you should uh, not live depending on others. So the Kshatriya duty, what is you are supposed to do, follow that duty. The one that has in this world become born as a kshatriya in any high race and has acquired a knowledge of the duties of the other order will never become fear of the sake of sustenance. So again, bow down onto anybody and do not bow down onto anybody. That's it. He should again, O Sanjaya, bow down only to Brahmanas for the sake of virtue and not to anybody else. And be become such a person where nobody, you don't have to bow down to anybody or beg to anybody. Hearing these words, ruthless words, again, Sanjaya says that your heart surely made of steel. You don't have any kindness towards me. I'm already defeated by that king, Sindhu kings. So I can't do anything. What should I do? So she again says that all the acts of the wise people are undertaken for the sake of virtue and profit. So, eyeing for those virtue and profit only, I urge you to battle. So, this is the fit hour to exhibit your prowess. So, that's why I do this. So, do not tread in the path of that is disapproved by the wise and adopted by the fools. So, that's why great ignorance is there in that. So, if you, however, adopt the behavior of the wise people, you will then become dear to me. And if you have recourse to virtue and profit, if God allows benefits, supports those who take human exertion, if your conduct becomes like that of the good, if then it is by this and only, not by any other means, you will become dear to me. And the one he that takes delight in son and grandsons that are well instructed enjoys the delight that is real. So that's why become dear to me by doing what is approved by dharma and artha. Those worst men that are never do what is proper and always do what is censurable do not obtain the happiness here and after. The kshatriya has been created for battle and victory. Whether he wins or perishes, he obtains the regions of Indra by both those things. That's why go to the battle. Again, son Sanjaya says that you should not give expression to such a view that your before your son show kindness in me. And mother again says that uh, great in my gratification since you say so. Uh, I urge you for this reason only more to do what you should do, and I'm telling you all those things. And son then says that without wealth without allies and things like that, how can I success be mine? How can I in this get out of this miserable state from this defeat which I have acquired? How can I do these things? Mother says that do not disgrace your atma by anticipation of failure. Okay, this is again very important. So she says that do not disgrace yourself with anticipation of failure. Even before you started, you have already excuses saying that you do not have wealth, you do not have allies, and all those things. So you haven't made any attempt to regain your kingdom. You're already looking at the failure. Do not disgrace yourself. So objects are attained, unattained have to be attained, while those attained have been lost. So the accomplishment of the objects uh, should never be sought with anger or folly. Again, the attainment of success is always uncertain, but people should still take actions to attain those things. Those, however, who abstain from action, they never obtain success. So, in the absence of exertion, there is but one result, the absence of success. So if you act, you may get success or failure. But if you don't act, it is definite that you will not have success. So she says that the wise king who engages in actions, having performed all the auspicious rites with the Devatas and Brahmanas on his side, soon will win success. That's why it behoves you to win by every exertion the object you have in the view. So she also says that I have some wealth from the hidden wealth that I'm going to give you. Use that wealth, unite all the enemies of the Sindhu kings, and through that you will become victorious. And she gives all those advice to him, that son Sanjaya. And hearing those words of the Sanjaya heart, that despair left him, and soon he says that as you say, I'm going to make every effort to regain that kingdom. And through that, Kunti says that, pierced by those words of his mother, he stood up and took action. And through that, he became successful. And this story, Kunti says, that is called Jaya. By listening to this, a woman, the history causes a woman to bring forth a heroic son. The woman, quick, pregnant with child, listens to this story repeatedly, gives birth to a hero. Kshatriya woman that listens to bring forth a brave son of irresistible powers and things like that. And so that's why I'm telling you this story. Tell this to Yudhishthira, this story as well. So he become victorious, invincible, and he may be practitioners of the virtues. And also say this to Arjuna, that the reason why the day I brought forth Arjuna, there was a voice that saying that he will become Vasudeva's ally and he will conquer the Kurus. So the time has come for that to do. And similarly, tell Arjuna to always listen to Draupadi, what Draupadi says, because she knows what is needed. And it is very well known that Bhima, Arjuna, when they are united, nobody can defeat them. That's why they should take what is right for them. And she also tells Krishna that you protect my sons. So after that instruction, saluting Kunti, Krishna leaves uh, uh, Kunti's home, and then he immediately, taking Satyaki and Kritavarma and other people who came with him, he returns to that. So listening to this, whatever that uh, 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 the discussion between Kunti and Krishna, Karna, Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Viduraa, everybody who came there along with Krishna, they came there to Kunti's house. They all listened to that and they say that because of Duryodhana's foolishness, we are going to suffer. We all have to bear that. And so, with that, Krishna heads towards Upaplavya. And what happens in Upaplavya after that, we will see what happens next time.